NFL fans, welcome back to a brand new episode of the J All Day NFL Show. I got Week 11 early look picks for you guys today. We're doing pretty damn good here in Week 10, 8-4 so far. Not bad considering the freaking Panthers and the Bills laid huge eggs. Come on, guys. Freaking bums. Bryce Young, you're a bum. Josh Allen was terrible today versus the Dolphins, but I digress, guys. On to Week 11. Here we go. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog. They are a great fantasy football outlet. Higher and lower is their games. You could place plays on all different sports. I love their platform. And because you're a part of this community for a limited time, they're doing a great offer. $5 in, you get $100 in bonus entries. Check out the link in the description down below if you want to check that out. Let's go on to Week 11. With our 8-4 record here in Week 10, that brings us to 92-53-1 on the year, guys. This is the best place for picks, so make sure you hit that like button, hit the hype button, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 30,000 by the end of the year. We're right around 28,000 right now, guys, so let's get into it. Week 11, let's kick things off. New York Jets, New England Patriots here on Thursday Night Football. How the Jets won, I will never know. Freaking Justin Fields completed 6 passes. Yeah, that's right. 6. For 54 freaking yards and went 3 for 11 on third down, and they won. That's how bad the Browns are. Yo, Kevin Stefanski, they need to fire him. And it's time for Shedeur Sanders, dude. This dude, Dylan Gabriel, he cannot play. Flat out, the dude cannot play, guys. He's just a bum. This team, the Jets and the Browns are just disgraceful. I don't even know what other way to describe it. 27-20, they beat the Browns with Justin Fields completing 6 passes. I don't even know what to say, but the Patriots should definitely win this game. They had a solid win over a really good football team, and the Buccaneers on the road too, 28-23. Drake May did struggle a little bit in this game for sure. And at the end of the game, they're up by 5 points, right? They're in field goal range, in the red zone, and he throws an interception on third down. Bro, you got to just throw the ball away, kick the field goal, go up by 8 points, man. That was a really, really dumb decision by Drake May, and it almost cost them the game. But luckily, their defense came through in the end, and they got the 28-23 victory. But that was a terrible mistake, and that could have cost them for sure. You got to get the points there. He went 16 for 31, 270, and an interception. So, Trevion Henderson had an incredible day. What a performance. 14 carries, $147, and 2 touchdowns. Mac Hollins added 6 catches for 106 yards. They had a lot of trouble with Emeka Egbuka on defense, but for the most part, the Patriots are just playing very good, complementary football, right? So, Egbuka is tough to cover for anyone, but I do think once the Buccaneers get healthy, they're going to be really, really tough to deal with here, guys. So, I'm going with the Patriots to win on Thursday night. I'm still flabbergasted. 6 passes, 54 yards, and they won. I don't know. My brain doesn't understand or compute how that's even possible. That just goes to show you how embarrassingly bad the Browns organization is. Patriots get a big W at home on a short week. Next up, we got Washington at Miami, but this game is not in Miami. It's in Spain. The Dolphins played pretty tough in this game, man, for sure. They got a big victory over the Buffalo Bills, who just looked like they were playing in quicksand all game long. Josh Allen looked like shit. He looked tired and slow. I don't know if it was the heat or the humidity that got to him, but man, hindsight is 2020, but this was a very favorable spot for the Bills considering they had that big win over the Chiefs last week. Taking the Dolphins and the points was sharp this week for sure. But they live and die by running the football. Tua threw 2 interceptions again. A-Chain, 22 carries, $174, 2 touchdowns. This Bills team cannot stop the run at all whatsoever. But on the flip side, the Commanders got the brakes blown off of them this week. They looked terrible. I mean, they're going up against a good Lions football team, but without Jaden Daniels, this team doesn't really have a shot at winning games, and this defense week after week just looks older and older and older, and I think Miami has success on offense. I think they'll be able to do enough passing the ball, and A-Chain's just a monster, man. I think he has a big game against a Commanders team. that got shredded by Gibbs this past week, right? So I like Miami in Spain in this spot. I just don't think the Commanders, I don't know how many more games they win this year, guys, if I'm being honest, without Jaden Daniels. This team is just not built to win without him. And this defense looks old. And they play old. And when they play high-powered offenses, they get their asses kicked. That's what happened this week versus the Lions. I think that happens again in Spain. Miami gets a big victory here in week number 11. Carolina at Atlanta. Yo, Bryce Young can't play. Straight up. The dude's trash. They got to move on from Bryce Young. He's not a starting quarterback in this league. He's just not. Flat out, the dude just cannot play. Against a very mediocre Saints defense, he looked horrible. I don't even know what else to say. He can't play. He cannot play in this league. The Falcons played tough in Germany. I picked them to win this week. I told you guys it was going to be close. Everyone who said I was an idiot and a dumbass and a whatever other horrible things you guys said about me, if Michael Penix Jr. didn't suck terribly, they win this game pretty easily, in my opinion. Daniel Jones wasn't good again. I thought he would lay another stinker, and he did. Michael Penix Jr. is just so bad. 12 of 28 for a $177. That's a 43% completion percentage. That's straight ass. Huge booty cheek ass. The dude is trash. Straight up. The game went into overtime. The Colts ended up winning, but, man, the Falcons had a chance to win that game. And Michael Penix Jr. and this offense, 0 for 8 on third down. 0 for 8? Are we in the NFL? He just got that weird hitch in his throw, man. He just sucks. They got to find a quarterback, too. Panthers and Falcons are two teams without quarterbacks. But I think the Panthers, they've done all their winning for this year. I think Atlanta at home, they do have to fly back from overseas, which is a bummer. But the Falcons do play better at home. Bryce Young against a nice young pass rush is going to struggle. Unless Rico Dowdell goes for like a $150 again, they have no chance of winning. I'm going with the Falcons at home in this spot. Faux show. Tampa Bay at Buffalo. Dalton Kincaid got ruled out with a hammy injury. Rookie Maxwell Harrison for the Bills. 2 picks in 2 weeks. Looks pretty damn good. He did get juiced a little bit in a couple of those spots, but, you know, as a rookie, that's going to happen. But everything that could went wrong for the Buffalo Bills. Freaking James Cook with a horrible fumble. Josh Allen fumbled late. He threw an interception in the freaking end zone. He looked like shit this week, man. He looked really, really, really bad. But this team has 2 really big issues, the Buffalo Bills. They don't have a number 1 wide receiver, and they can't stop the freaking run. That's a huge problem in the NFL when you don't have a reliable guy to go to on third down. You need someone to go to on third down. They don't have that receiver that they could call up his number, and he can make a play for Josh Allen. If Josh Allen doesn't do everything, they're going to really, really struggle. So, Josh Allen at home versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers lost a tough spot to the Patriots, 28-23. They went 5 for 13 on third down. Baker goes 28 of 43, 3 touchdowns. They really got to limit how many times Baker Mayfield throws the football. 43 times is too much, man. He did have 3 touchdown passes. The game came down to the wire, but once they get Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin back, they'll be a lot better off, in my opinion. Tampa Bay on the road, I think they get a win over Buffalo. This Buffalo team cannot stop the run. The Buccaneers want to run the football and use play action with Baker Mayfield, right? So, I'm rolling with the Buccaneers. Hopefully Godwin and Bucky Irving will be able to play in this spot. We got to keep our eye on the injury report as the week progresses. But as of right now, I'm going to go with the Buccaneers to win on the road versus Buffalo. Next up, Houston at Tennessee. What a comeback for the Texans. We had a Texans money line bet. OMG, what a comeback. 36-29 over the Jags. Davis Mills flipped the switch in the second half to score 26 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. He finished the day 27 for 45, 292, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Nico Collins balled out. Dalton Schultz, the tight end, he had a big fumble, but he also added 7 catches. They sacked Trevor Lawrence 5 times and forced a fumble, But, man, 11 penalties, dude. They got to clean that shit up for sure. But the most impressive part about Davis Mills' performance today, guys, 10 for 15 on third down. Let's clap it up for a guy in the first half. He could have just like packed it in for the day, but he kept playing, kept his head down, and got a big come from behind victory that keeps the Texans freaking team alive for a playoff spot. Clap it up, dude. Davis Mills. Because after the first half, I was like, how is this dude even in the NFL? But 26 unanswered pointies? Yo, I love that shit. Davis Mills. Clap it up, dude. Clap it up. Great performance. Texans beat the Titans. The Titans are coming off a bye, but I don't think Cam Ward's going to be able to score points versus this Texans defense, who didn't play great this week, giving up 29 points to the Jags without Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. Bummer performance from the Texans defense, especially at home. I thought they were going to keep them to under 20 points, but kudos to Trevor Lawrence for putting some points on the board for the Jaguars, but Texans win. I think they win again. I'm going with Houston over Tennessee on the road. Talk about come from behind victories. Chicago with a big win. Minnesota with a big loss. Big comeback for the Bears. And Caleb Williams with a big run there at the end of the game to seal the win. 6-3 moved the Bears. But DeAndre Swift came back. He looked pretty damn good. 13 carries for 80 yards. Caleb still needs to improve that accuracy, though. 20 for 36. 220 yards, 3 for 11 on third down. It's just not going to be good enough to beat really good teams. They did outscore the Giants 14-3 in the fourth quarter. That propelled them to that victory. But what really helped the Bears this week, guys, win this game, even though Caleb was 20 of 36, no turnovers. If Caleb Williams cannot turn the football over, they're going to be in every game for sure. They got a lot of talent. Spread the ball out to tons of their freaking skill position players. Loveland, Odunze, Burden, all super talented young players that are only going to get better week in and week out. Who wins this game? Caleb Williams on the road or J.J. McCarthy at home? I think the blitz could be troublesome for Caleb Williams, so I'm going to roll with Minnesota, but I'm going to need to watch the tape a little bit better from the Chicago and Minnesota game. But right now I'm going to roll with Minnesota. The Vikings were in that game versus Baltimore, and J.J. McCarthy didn't play bad. He didn't play great either, but I think that Brian Flores blitz-heavy, confusing defense could be a problem there for the Bears, but the Bears got to run at the blitz with Swift. That's how they beat that blitz. I'm going to roll with Minnesota for now. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants. Green Bay Packers got the Bird Gang. Go Birds! On Monday Night Football, so we'll see how they look. Very up and down team. But Giants let one slip away versus the Bears. They lose that game. A close one. Very, very, very close game for sure. But Jackson Dart is playing well considering no Cam Scatterbo, no Malik Neighbors. I mean, Theo Johnson is becoming a big part of this offense, though he had a really good game today. But 19 of 29, 242, no interceptions for Dart. That's a pretty good stat line, man, considering what he's working with here, man. What I'm really disappointed in about this Giants football team, guys, is their inability to get after the quarterback. With this front seven, to sack Caleb Williams no times is just inexcusable in my opinion. I do like what I'm seeing out of Tyron Tracy, 14 for 71, over 5 yards per carry. Him and Scatterbo will be a nice 1-2 punch next year once they're all healthy. And I'm going to go with the Packers on the road because I just don't know if Jackson Dart has enough ammo to stay with the Packers in this spot. It's going to be tough for him to win games, but he plays solid football. He doesn't turn the ball over. I like what I'm seeing out of Jackson Dart. I was a little skeptical of his game coming out of college, but so far, I'm impressed with what he's doing so far in his short time as an NFL starting quarterback. So I'm going to roll with the Packers there. Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game's in Pittsburgh. Cincinnati won the last one, last-second shootout. I think the Steelers' defense makes some adjustments and win this game. I think it'll be a little bit lower scoring of a game, but the Pittsburgh Steelers' secondary is trash. They gave up the most passing yards in the NFL. We'll see how they look tonight against Justin Herbert with a banged-up offensive line. If they get shredded again tonight and lose, I'm going to go with the Bengals. But right now, the Pittsburgh defense played better last week. I think they're going to play better tonight. Continue that defensive momentum. Pittsburgh Steelers win this game, but it's a bad matchup for the Steelers, right? Steelers against really athletic wide receivers struggle because they got the old man Muppet guys at the cornerback spot with Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay. They're old as shit. And these young athletic guys just torch them, right? So I'm going to go back and forth on this game, but I'm going to roll with the home team in a division spot. Going to be a tough game for sure. Chargers at Jacksonville. We'll see how Chargers and that offensive line look tonight, but they blew a huge lead. Texans scored 26 points in the fourth quarter to come back. The kid Parker Washington I like, though. Kind of like a slot-ish wide receiver guy for the Jags. He looks pretty damn good. But the offense pretty much struggled all day. 13 of 23 for 158 for Trevor Lawrence. Only averaged 3.5 yards per carry running the ball. And the defense allowed the Texans and Mills to go 10 for 15 on third down. That's not great. I'm going to go with the Chargers in this spot on the road. I think the Chargers might lose tonight to Pittsburgh, but I don't know if they lose back-to-back games. Jaguars just find ways to lose games, man, week in and week out. And I trust Coach Harbaugh to get a big win on the road in a spot that you need to get a win against a mediocre team because they're going to be competing for wild card spots, them and the Jaguars, right? So they got to win that game. Same thing with tonight's game versus the Steelers. Next up, we're going to move on. Seattle versus the Rams. This game, woo, baby. I am so mother effing excited for this game. 2-7-2 teams. I'm rolling with the Seahawks. Here's why. Okay. Both the Seahawks and Rams dominated against beat-up bad teams. So, I do think this Rams defense is a little overrated, man. Look what the 49ers and the backups are doing. Mac Jones looked like freaking Joe Montana out there again tonight. But this Seahawks defense is a lot freaking better than this banged-up 49ers C squad at best, right? So, I think Seattle's going to do enough offensively against a Rams defense that I think is a little overrated, man. They got cooked twice by this 49ers offense that doesn't have a lot of juice right now, man. But, man, Matt Stafford looks so damn good. But I think they're going to have some trouble with Seattle and this defense, right? It's not going to be a walk in the park like it was the last couple weeks against bad defenses, right? It's going to be the best defense that they've played in a long time. And I don't know if anyone's stopping Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba. You know, Darnold didn't have to do much in that game. They ran the ball 46 times for 198 yards because the defense had 2 scores early, right? So Sam Darnold could just kind of hand the ball off and coast to a victory. Rams, it was a close back-and-forth game until, late in the second half, and the Rams kind of pulled away there, but that's because the 49ers defense is so banged up. They have no bullets left with their defense, right? I'm going with Seattle to get a victory here. San Francisco at Arizona. Arizona, Walter Nolan gets hurt at the end of that game. That was a huge bummer. 2 early turnovers kept them out of the game. 49ers battled. I just think the 49ers are a better team. They're a better coach team. And the secondary for the Cardinals was so banged up going in this spot. I don't know if they're going to be healthy next week. The 49ers win this game on the road. I just think Mac Jones is playing damn good football. 33 of 39, 319, 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. Kittle finally had a breakout game we all been waiting for, 9 for 84. The defense is just too banged up to compete against high-powered offenses. This Cardinals offense, mediocre team, not the best. 49ers get a win here on the road. Next up, we got Baltimore at Cleveland. Cleveland might be the worst. How do you lose to a team with 54 passing yards? My brain is fried. Kevin Stefanski, bro, you got to be fired. You got to, pack up, get your shit out of Cleveland. You got to just go, bro. You got to go. You got to go. And it's time for Shedeur Sanders. Let Shedeur cook. Dylan Gabriel's throwing balls into the dirt. He's 4'11". He can't see over the freaking line. The dude sucks donkey balls. Yeah, I said it. Dylan Gabriel, he can't play. Let Shedeur play. Let him cook. I don't care if you don't like his attitude. He's a better player than Dylan Gabriel. I'm sure of it. Even though this offense isn't great, you got to let Shedeur cook. You got to see what you got with him because Dylan Gabriel is never going to be more than a mediocre backup in the NFL. That's just who he is. It's time for Shedeur Sanders. I know it's a tough spot giving him a start versus the Ravens, but the Ravens are going to eat Dylan Gabriel's mini ass for breakfast. Ravens dominate. They had a big win over Minnesota 27-19. They didn't play great. It was a tough, gritty kind of game. The Vikings had 13 penalties, right? And the Ravens forced 3 turnovers. That's how you win games, even though offensively they weren't great. This Minnesota Vikings defense has been playing better the last couple weeks. Ravens get it done. Next up, Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. This Broncos offense is abysmal. You saw that performance, that ass cheeks performance versus the Raiders. The Chiefs are coming off a bye. They're going to win this game, guys. That's, for me, that's an all-day bet. I'm going with the Chiefs. Well-rested, time to prepare against a horrifically terrible offense. Mahomes is going to figure it out. He's going to hang up at least 20, and the Broncos will not, unless Mahomes throws like 2 pick sixes or some shit. I like the Chiefs in this spot a lot, actually. I think the line's going to be close, and that's a situation I think we could take advantage of. I know it's in Denver, but, man, this offense is abysmal right now, man. Until they get Bo Nix straightened out, I'm taking the Chiefs all day. All day! All right, next up, Lions at Philadelphia. I got to see how the Eagles look on Monday night. They got Brandon Graham back. They got Nolan Smith back, man. They got Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. They got Jair Alexander from the Ravens. I don't know if Alexander's going to play or not, but I'm really looking forward to see what this defense looks like. They're healthy now. First, the Packers. I'm going to go with the Eagles at home. It's going to be cold. The weather's going to be crappy. Jared Goff doesn't play the best in cold, crappy weather, in my opinion. This is Sunday Night Football. It's going to be cold. I like the Philadelphia Eagles to get a big-time win. There's a cold front coming in the Northeast from my understanding, right? So I like the Eagles to win in this spot. Dallas, Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders. This Dallas defense can't stop the run. And what do the Raiders want to do? They want to run the ball down your throat. I think Gentry has a monster game in this spot. And Dallas's offense over the last few weeks just hasn't looked good. They look like they're just like boo, 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 boo. They like ran out of energy, right? They're like, we got to score 45 points a game if we're going to win, right? So it's a lot of pressure on the offense, and I think it's getting to Dak and the rest of this offense, and they're like, shit, man, if we don't put up 40, we're going to lose. And we saw the Raiders be able to score some points, not last week, but the week before versus the Jaguars. It was a close game, and I think it's going to be a similar kind of shootout-y game, but give me the Raiders all day. All right, guys, there are my Week 11 early look picks. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on 28K, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. And then if you want to check out Underdog Fantasy Football, it's a ton of fun. Check out the link in my description. Put in $5, you get $100 in free bonus entries, man. That is a great limited time offer. Again, thank you guys so much.